Do you ever feel like you're falling short of your potential? Like you know what you want, but can't seem to stick to the path? What's standing between you and the success you've been dreaming about? The answer is simple: discipline. It's not about talent, luck, or timing. Success comes when you can commit to doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. But how do you develop that kind of discipline? How do you stay on track when distractions pull at you, or when it gets tough? Today, we're going to dive into how you can build the discipline needed to succeed in life. We'll look at practical ways to push through the hard times, stay focused on your goals, and create habits that lead to real, lasting success. Stick with me, and I promise you'll walk away with the tools you need to make a change today. Number 1, build a daily routine that forces you to grow. Success is built in the small things. It's not about a single breakthrough or one lucky moment. It's about what you do every single day. The decisions you make, the habits you form, the discipline you build, that's what shapes your future. Some people wait for motivation, but winners don't wait. They create momentum. They build routines that force them to grow, whether they feel like it or not. Every person you admire, every success story you've ever heard, is a result of a routine. Habits built on purpose, not by accident. The problem is, most people live by default. They wake up when they feel like it. They do what's easy. They follow whatever impulse comes to mind. And then they wonder why life isn't working out the way they wanted. The truth is, your life is the sum total of your habits. If your habits are weak, your results will be weak. If your habits are strong, your results will be strong. So what are you doing every single day that moves you closer to the life you want? Because if you don't build a routine that forces you to grow, you will stay exactly where you are. Think about it. If you wake up late every morning, if you spend hours scrolling through distractions, if you procrastinate on the things that matter, how can you expect to change? Change doesn't come from good intentions. It comes from discipline. It comes from setting a standard for yourself, one that forces you to improve, even when it's uncomfortable. Let's get one thing straight. Growth is not automatic. Nobody wakes up one day suddenly successful. Growth is intentional. You have to set your own path. You have to push yourself. If you don't, life will push you around. So what should you do? First, you take control of your mornings. If you start your day right, you set yourself up for success. And I'm not talking about waking up and checking your phone or hitting snooze 5 times. I'm talking about owning your mornings. Wake up with purpose. Set goals. Read something that expands your mind. Move your body. If the first thing you do in the morning is weak, the rest of your day will follow. But if you start with discipline, you carry that energy with you. Next, you make learning a daily habit. If you're not learning, you're falling behind. Read something every day that sharpens your thinking. Study success. Listen to people who have achieved what you want. Surround yourself with knowledge that challenges you, that pushes you forward. And then you take action. Too many people spend their time planning, thinking, waiting for the right moment. But there is no right moment. The only way to grow is to start before you feel ready. Take action every single day, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. The days you don't feel like it, that's when it matters most. And here's something most people don't realize. Your routine should not be based on how you feel. If you only do the right things when you're in the mood, you'll never be consistent. Growth isn't about feelings. It's about commitment. It's about doing what needs to be done, no matter what. That's why discipline is so powerful. The more disciplined you become, the more freedom you have. People think discipline is restrictive, but it's the opposite. When you build strong habits, you don't have to waste energy making decisions. You don't have to fight yourself every day. You just do what needs to be done. And that consistency, that's what leads to results. But here's the catch. Your routine should challenge you. If it's easy, you're not growing. If you're comfortable, you're not progressing. Your routine should stretch you. It should demand more from you than you gave yesterday, because that's how you move forward. And let's talk about the people around you. If you spend your time with people who have no discipline, no ambition, no drive, guess what? You'll pick up their habits. You'll lower your standards without even realizing it. But if you surround yourself with people who are pushing themselves, who expect more from life, who are constantly improving, that will influence you. You'll start to think bigger. You'll start to demand more from yourself. And let's not forget one of the biggest mistakes people make. They start a routine, but they quit when they don't see instant results. Listen, real progress is invisible at first. It happens under the surface. You won't always see it, but it's there. Every action you take, every disciplined decision, every time you push yourself, it's adding up. But most people quit too soon. They think it's not working, so they stop. And that's the real failure. It's not that they couldn't succeed. It's that they didn't stay with it long enough to see the results. So what does this all come down to? It comes down to choice. Every single day, you have a choice. You can keep living by default, hoping things will change. Or you can build a routine that forces you to grow. A routine that makes you better. A routine that puts you in control of your future. Because the truth is, success is not an accident. It's a decision. It's a commitment. And it starts with what you do today. So ask yourself, what does my routine say about my future? And if the answer isn't what you want, it's time to change. The moment you decide to raise your standards, the moment you decide to take control of your habits, everything shifts. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Because every disciplined action, every productive day, every moment you push yourself, it all adds up. And one day, you'll look back and realize that the life you've built is the result of the small decisions you made, day after day. Success is not about luck. It's about effort. It's about consistency. It's about creating a routine that forces you to grow, whether you feel like it or not. Because if you can master your daily habits, you can master your life. Number 2, remove distractions that steal your time and energy. Distractions are the silent killers of progress. They don't just take a few moments of your time. They take your focus, your energy, and your ability to move forward. Most people don't even realize how much of their potential is being stolen every single day. They wonder why they're not making progress, why they feel drained, why their dreams seem so far away. The answer is right in front of them. Their time and energy are being spent on things that don't matter. It's not always obvious at first. It starts small. A few minutes here, a quick check there, a harmless little habit. But when you add it up, those little distractions are costing you hours, days, even years of your life. And the worst part, you don't get that time back. It's gone, wasted. This is why the ability to remove distractions is one of the most important skills you can develop. If you don't take control of your environment will take control of you. And if you let distractions run your life, you will never achieve your full potential. The first step is to become aware of where your time is going. Most people think they're busy, but they're not productive. They think they don't have time. But the truth is, their time is being stolen by things that don't serve them. Scrolling through meaningless content, checking notifications, responding to messages that don't matter, watching just one more episode, giving attention to things that add no value to their life. And here's what most people don't realize. It's not just the time they lose, it's the energy. Distractions don't just take minutes, they take momentum. Every time you switch from one thing to another, your brain has to refocus, and that costs energy. It drains you. That's why so many people feel exhausted at the end of the day, but have nothing to show for it. They weren't working hard, they were just distracted all day. If you want to be successful, you have to protect your focus. That means removing anything that pulls you away from what truly matters. If something doesn't add to your life, it's taking from it. And if it's taking from it, it has to go. One of the biggest distractions today is technology. Now, technology is a tool. It can help you, or it can hurt you. It depends on how you use it. Most people don't control their technology. Their technology controls them. The constant notifications, the endless feeds, the temptation to check one more thing. It's all designed to steal your attention. And the more attention you give away, the less you have for the things that truly matter. If you want to take back control, you need to set boundaries. That means turning off notifications that don't serve you. That means setting time limits for how long you spend on things that don't contribute to your growth. That means making a decision right now that your time is too valuable to be wasted on things that don't move you forward. And it's not just technology, it's also the people in your life. Some people will push you forward, and some will hold you back. If you surround yourself with people who waste their time, who are always distracted, who have no ambition, that energy will rub off on you. You won't even realize it's happening. But one day you'll look around and wonder why you're stuck. And the answer will be clear. You allowed distractions into your life through the people you spent time with. That's why you have to be intentional. If someone isn't helping you grow, if they're always pulling you into meaningless conversations, if they're filling your mind with negativity, it's time to create some distance. You don't have to be rude, but you do have to be firm. Your future depends on it. Another major distraction is saying yes to too many things. People think being busy means being productive. It doesn't. Just because your schedule is full doesn't mean you're making progress. The real question is, are you spending your time on things that truly matter? Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. If you fill your time with things that don't matter, you won't have time for the things that do. That's why the ability to say no is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. No to distractions. No to meaningless obligations. No to anything that doesn't move you closer to your goals. And here's something to think about. Your environment is shaping you every day. If your environment is filled with distractions, it will be almost impossible to stay focused. That's why you have to take control. Clean up your space. Remove anything that pulls you away from your goals. If your phone is a distraction, put it in another room while you work. If certain websites waste your time, block them. If background noise breaks your concentration, find a quiet place to work. Success is not just about what you do, it's about what you remove. If you remove distractions, you gain back time, you gain back energy, you gain back focus. And with that focus, you can do more in a few months than most people do in years. Now, removing distractions isn't always easy. Some of these distractions are habits you've built over years. But just because it's hard, doesn't mean you can't do it. Start small. Identify one major distraction in your life and remove it. Then move on to the next and the next. You'll start to notice something. Your mind will feel clearer. Your energy will increase. You'll get more done in less time. And most importantly, you'll feel in control again, because that's what this is really about. Control. When you remove distractions, you take back control of your time, your energy, and your future. Distractions will always be there, waiting to pull you away from what matters. But the choice is yours. Either you take control of them, or they take control of you. And the difference between success and failure, it's as simple as that decision. Number 3, take responsibility for everything in your life. Everything in your life is a reflection of the choices you have made. The good, the bad, the wins, the losses, the opportunities, the setbacks. Every single part of it is connected to the decisions you've taken, the habits you've built, and the effort you've put in. And here's the truth. Until you take full responsibility for where you are, you will never be able to change where you're going. Most people spend their entire lives blaming something or someone for their problems. They blame the economy, their boss, their family, their past, their circumstances, their luck. They have a long list of reasons why things aren't going the way they want. And as long as they hold on to that list, they stay stuck. Because the moment you blame something outside of yourself, you give away your power. You're saying, I have no control over my life. And the second you believe that, you've already lost. Taking responsibility is not about feeling guilty. It's not about beating yourself up for past mistakes. It's about owning your life. It's about saying, if something needs to change, I'm the one who has to change it. That's power. That's how you take back control. Think about this. If someone else is responsible for your failures, then you're saying they have control over your life. If you believe your success depends on things outside of your control, then you're at the mercy of the world. But if you take responsibility for everything, your actions, your mindset, your results, then you become the one in control. And when you are in control, you can change anything. Most people don't want to hear this. They want an easier answer. They want someone to tell them that it's not their fault, that life is just unfair, that things are too difficult. And if they believe that, they stay exactly where they are. But the truth is, the moment you take responsibility for your life is the moment everything begins to change. Because now, you're no longer waiting for circumstances to get better. You're not waiting for luck. You're not waiting for someone to come and save you. You're making a decision that no matter what has happened before, You are in charge of what happens next. Look at the people who succeed. They come from all backgrounds. Some grew up with nothing. Some had every excuse to fail. But they didn't let their past define them. They took responsibility for their future. They decided that no matter what obstacles they faced, they would find a way forward. And then look at the people who stay stuck. They always have a reason, always an excuse, always something to blame. They don't realize that by focusing on what they can't control, they're ignoring everything they can. This is not about ignoring reality. Life is unfair sometimes. You will face challenges. There will be things that happen outside of your control. But the question is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to let it stop you? Or are you going to take responsibility for how you respond? Because that's what it comes down to. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you react. You can control how you move forward. And when you take responsibility for that, you become unstoppable. So what does this look like in real life? It means if you're not where you want to be, you stop blaming other people. If your job isn't fulfilling, you don't wait for someone to change it. You build the skills to find something better. If your health isn't where it should be, you stop making excuses and start making better choices. If your relationships aren't strong, you stop pointing fingers and start improving how you communicate. You take ownership of everything. No more complaining. No more excuses. Just action. And here's the reality. The longer you avoid responsibility, the longer you stay stuck. Every time you make an excuse, you're delaying your progress. Every time you blame something outside of yourself, you're giving up your power. But the moment you take responsibility, everything changes. You start thinking differently. You start acting differently. And when you do that consistently, your entire life begins to shift. But taking responsibility isn't just about making better decisions. It's about building a stronger mindset. Because once you develop the habit of owning your choices, you stop fearing failure. You stop worrying about what other people think. You stop hesitating, because you know that no matter what happens, you are the one in control of your life. And the truth is, most people don't realize how much power they have. They think they're stuck because of their circumstances. But the only thing keeping them stuck is their mindset. If you believe you can't change your situation, you won't even try. But if you believe that you have control over your future, you will start making decisions that move you forward. And it won't be easy. There will be days when you feel like giving up. There will be moments when you doubt yourself. But that's part of the process. Growth isn't comfortable. Taking responsibility isn't always easy. But it's worth it. Because once you fully own your life, nobody can stop you. Imagine waking up every day, knowing that your future is in your hands. No more waiting. No more hoping. Just action. Just progress. Just results. That's the power of responsibility. And once you have it, you will never give it up. Number 4. Push yourself when you feel like quitting. Quitting is easy. Giving up requires no effort. Walking away from something difficult. Convincing yourself that it's not worth it. That takes no strength at all. But pushing through when you feel like quitting, that's what separates the ones who achieve their dreams from the ones who spend their lives wondering what could have been. Every person who has ever succeeded at anything has felt like quitting at some point. They have felt exhausted, discouraged, frustrated. They have faced moments where nothing seemed to be working, where progress was slow, where they started to doubt themselves. But instead of giving in to those feelings, they kept going. And that's why they made it. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They don't fail because they don't have potential. They fail because they stop too soon. They give up when things get uncomfortable. They convince themselves that it's not meant for them. And they settle for less than they're capable of. The truth is, your biggest breakthroughs come right after your biggest struggles. The moment when you feel like quitting is the moment when you need to push the hardest. Because if you stop now, all the time and effort you've already put in will be wasted. But if you keep going, even when it's tough, you give yourself a chance to succeed. Think about the last time you started something new. Maybe it was a goal, a habit, a project. In the beginning, you felt motivated. It was exciting. You had energy. But then after a while, the excitement started to fade. The work got harder. You didn't see results as fast as you wanted. You started questioning if it was worth it. And that's where most people stop. But that's also the moment where you have to make a decision. Will you be like everyone else and quit when it gets difficult? Or will you be the person who keeps pushing, who keeps fighting, who refuses to back down no matter how hard it gets? The mind will always look for a way out when things get uncomfortable. It will tell you that you're too tired, that you don't have what it takes, that maybe this isn't for you. But those thoughts are lies. They are nothing more than temporary feelings. And if you listen to them, you will stay exactly where you are. Pushing through when you feel like quitting is not about being superhuman. It's not about ignoring how you feel. It's about making a decision that your feelings don't get to control your future. Discipline is stronger than emotion. And when you build the habit of pushing forward no matter what, you develop a mindset that cannot be broken. So how do you do it? How do you keep going when everything in you wants to stop? First, you remind yourself why you started. When things get hard, most people focus on how difficult it is. But you need to shift your focus. Instead of thinking about the struggle, think about the reason you started in the first place. What was your goal? What did you want to achieve? What will it mean for your future if you don't give up? Second, you take control of your thoughts. The moment you start thinking about quitting, you have to interrupt that thought. Replace it with something stronger. Instead of thinking, I can't do this, tell yourself, I will find a way. Instead of thinking, I don't have the energy, remind yourself, I have more left in me than I realize. The words you say to yourself matter. If you let negative thoughts take over, you will give in. But if you train your mind to stay strong, you will keep moving forward. Third, you take action. Even if you don't feel like it. Motivation comes and goes, but action creates momentum. Even if you feel tired, even if you feel discouraged, even if you don't feel like doing anything, take one small step, then another, then another. Keep moving. Because the more you move, the easier it gets. Fourth, you understand that struggle is part of the process. Too many people think that if something is difficult, it means they're failing. But difficulty is not failure. Struggle is not a sign to quit. It's a sign that you are growing. The people who succeed are not the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who keep going despite the struggle. And finally, you decide right now that quitting is not an option. If you give yourself the option to quit, you will take it. If you let doubt creep in, it will take over. But if you decide that no matter what happens, you will not stop, you will find a way through anything. There will be days when you feel like nothing is working. There will be moments when you want to throw in the towel. But remember this, the ones who keep going are the ones who make it. The ones who refuse to quit are the ones who win. Your future self is depending on you. Every time you push forward when you feel like quitting, you are proving to yourself that you are stronger than your doubts, tougher than your struggles, and capable of more than you ever imagined. And when you push through enough times, quitting will never be an option again. Number 5. Set clear goals and track your progress daily. Success is not an accident. It doesn't happen by luck. It's a process, a result of clear decisions, consistent effort, and a commitment to improving every single day. And it all starts with one thing: setting clear goals. Because if you don't have a clear goal, you have no direction. And if you have no direction, you will spend your life wandering, working hard, but never making real progress. The people who achieve the most in life are not the ones who work the hardest. They are the ones who work the smartest. They know exactly what they want, and they track their progress every single day. They don't leave their future to chance. They take full control of it. If you don't set goals, you will always be reacting to life instead of creating the life you want. You will go where circumstances push you instead of deciding where you want to go. You will always feel busy, always feel like you're working. But at the end of the year, you will look back and realize you didn't get any closer to the life you truly want. That's why setting goals is so important. A goal is a target. It gives your mind something to focus on. It creates clarity. And once you have clarity, you can make decisions that actually move you forward. But here's the mistake most people make. They don't set clear goals. They have vague ideas. Things like, I want to be successful. I want to make more money. I want to get in shape. But those aren't goals. Those are wishes. A real goal is specific. A real goal is measurable. A real goal has a deadline. If your goal is to make more money, How much more? By when? If your goal is to get in shape, what does that mean for you? Losing 10 pounds, gaining muscle, running a marathon. If you don't define your goal, how will you ever know if you're making progress? So the first step is setting a clear goal. Be specific. Define exactly what you want. Write it down. Studies have shown that people who write down their goals are far more likely to achieve them. Why? Because when you write something down, it becomes real. It's no longer just a thought in your mind. It's a commitment. The second step is creating a plan. A goal without a plan is just a dream. You need to break it down into steps. What do you need to do every month, every week, every day to reach your goal? When you make a plan, you turn your goal into a process. And when you have a process, you can make progress every single day. But here's where most people fail. They set a goal, they make a plan, but they don't track their progress. They work hard, but they don't measure how far they've come. And when you don't measure, you don't see progress. And when you don't see progress, you lose motivation. Tracking your progress is the key to staying motivated. Because when you see even the smallest improvements, it fuels you. It reminds you that your efforts are paying off. It keeps you focused. Think of it like this. Imagine going on a road trip with no map, no GPS, no way of knowing how far you've gone or how much farther you have to go. How would you feel? Frustrated, confused. You might even turn back. But if you had a map, if you could see that you were getting closer every day, you would keep going. That's why tracking your progress is so powerful. So how do you do it? Every single day, write down what you did to move toward your goal. If you're working on your health, track your workouts, track what you eat. If you're building a business, track your sales, track your growth. If you're improving your skills, track your practice time, track what you've learned. And don't just track what's working, track what's not. Be honest with yourself. If something isn't working, adjust. Success is not about doing the same thing over and over. It's about learning, adapting, and improving. Most people don't do this. They set a goal, they start strong, but they don't track their progress. And when they don't see instant results, they get discouraged. They quit. But the people who succeed, they track everything. They celebrate small wins. They stay focused. And because they stay focused, they keep making progress. Here's the truth. Most goals take longer than you expect. They require more effort than you think. And if you don't track your progress, you will feel like you're not getting anywhere. But if you measure your progress every day, you will see that you are moving forward. And when you see progress, you stay motivated. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is simple. The ones who succeed are the ones who stay consistent. They don't just work when they feel like it. They don't just take action when it's convenient. They show up every day, track their progress, and keep improving. So what is your goal? What do you want to achieve? Be clear about it. Write it down. Create a plan. Track your progress every day. And most importantly, don't stop. Because success doesn't happen overnight. It happens when you stay committed, when you keep pushing forward, and when you refuse to quit. No more hoping. No more wishing. No more waiting. Set your goal, track your progress, and take full control of your future. Because the only way to win is to stay in the game. Number 6. Surround yourself with disciplined and successful people. Success is not just about what you do. It's also about who you spend your time with. The people around you have a powerful influence on your mindset, your habits, and your future. If you want to change your life, start by changing the people you surround yourself with. Look at your daily conversations. What are the people around you talking about? Are they discussing new ideas, strategies, and opportunities? Or are they complaining, making excuses, and blaming everything but themselves for their failures? Because if you listen to negativity every day, it will pull you down. It will lower your standards. It will weaken your ambition. But if you spend time with people who are disciplined and successful, something changes. You start thinking bigger. You become more focused. You adopt better habits. Their energy, their mindset, their work ethic, it all starts rubbing off on you. And that's when real transformation begins. The truth is, we are all influenced by the environment we place ourselves in. If you put yourself in a negative, unmotivated environment, it will drag you down, no matter how strong you think you are. But if you surround yourself with disciplined, ambitious people, you will naturally rise to their level. You will start expecting more from yourself. Most people don't pay attention to this. They keep the same friends, the same routines, and the same conversations, year after year. And then they wonder why nothing changes in their life. But life doesn't change by accident. It changes when you make intentional decisions about who you allow in your space. If you want to be more disciplined, be around disciplined people. If you want to be more successful, spend time with those who are already where you want to be. Because success leaves clues, their habits, their discipline, their focus. It's all something you can learn. The first step is identifying the people who inspire you. Who do you admire? Who is living life at a level you aspire to? Study them. Watch how they work, how they think, how they manage their time, and then find ways to be around them. Attend events, join groups, seek mentors, do whatever it takes to get into environments where people are thinking bigger, working harder, and pushing themselves beyond average. But this also means letting go of the people who are holding you back. And that's hard, because sometimes the people who bring the most negativity into your life are the ones closest to you. Maybe it's a friend who constantly complains, but never takes action. Maybe it's a family member who tells you your dreams are unrealistic. Maybe it's coworkers who spend more time gossiping than improving. You don't have to cut them off completely, but you do have to control how much of their influence you allow into your life. Protect your mind, protect your energy, because if you don't, their habits will become your habits. Their mindset will become your mindset. The biggest shift you will experience is when you start spending time with people who demand more from themselves. You will see how they wake up early to work on their goals. You will notice how they make disciplined choices, even when they don't feel like it. You will observe how they use their time wisely instead of wasting it on distractions. And something inside you will change. You will start making better decisions. You will feel a new level of drive and determination, because now you are in an environment that pushes you to be better. But here's something important. You also have to be the kind of person others want to be around. If you want to be in a room with high achievers, you have to bring value. You can't just expect successful people to spend time with you if you're not growing, improving, or contributing in some way. So work on yourself. Develop good habits. Be disciplined. Learn new skills. Because the more valuable you become, the more you will attract people who are also serious about success. Your life is a reflection of the people you spend time with. If you surround yourself with disciplined, hard-working individuals, you will become more disciplined and hard-working. If you spend time with people who make excuses and settle for less, you will eventually do the same. Look at your circle. Who are you spending the most time with? Are they helping you grow, or are they holding you back? Are they challenging you to be better, or are they keeping you comfortable? These are the questions you need to ask yourself, because the answer will determine your future. This is one of the most important choices you will ever make. Choose wisely. Surround yourself with disciplined, successful people, and watch how your life transforms. Number 7. Control your emotions and master your self-talk. Your emotions and your self-talk. Control the quality of your life. If you let emotions dictate your decisions, you will always be at their mercy. If you allow negative self-talk to dominate your mind, you will always find reasons to hold yourself back. Success begins when you take full control of both. Think about the times you've let emotions push you into decisions you later regretted. Maybe you reacted in anger and damaged a relationship. Maybe you felt discouraged and gave up on something important. Maybe fear stopped you from taking an opportunity that could have changed your life. Emotions are powerful, but they should never be in control. You should be in control. Every day life will test you. Some days you will feel frustrated. Some days you will feel overwhelmed. And some days you will feel like giving up. But if you live based on emotions alone, you will never be consistent. You will never build the discipline needed for long-term success. Emotions can deceive you. They can make a small problem feel like the end of the world. They can make you feel incapable when you are more than capable. They can push you into choices that lead to regret. And if you don't learn how to control them, they will control you. The first step is awareness. Pay attention to what triggers your emotions. Notice how you react to stress, setbacks, and challenges. See how your mind starts creating stories. Stories about why you can't do something, why it's too hard, why it won't work. Those stories are what keep people stuck. Most people don't realize how much they talk to themselves. That voice in your head is always saying something. And if you are not careful, it will become your worst enemy. You might hear it when you try to start something new, and it says, "What if I fail?" You might hear it when you face a challenge, and it says, "I can't do this." You might hear it when you compare yourself to others, and it says, "I'll never be good enough." But here's the truth. You are the one in control of that voice. You decide whether to let it stop you or push you forward. Every time your mind says, "I can't," challenge it. Ask why not. Every time it says, "This is too hard," remind yourself, "I have done hard things before." If it says, "I'm not ready," tell yourself, "I will never be ready unless I start." You have to train your mind the same way you train your body. Just like you wouldn't expect to build strength without lifting weights, you can't expect a strong mindset without practice. Every time you replace a negative thought with a positive one, you are building mental strength. Every time you take action despite fear, you are training yourself to be stronger than your emotions. The key is discipline. Discipline means doing what you need to do, no matter how you feel. It means waking up early even when you don't want to. It means sticking to your goals, even when motivation fades. It means staying calm when challenges appear. It means choosing logic over impulse. You are not your emotions. You are not your thoughts. You are the one in control. But control requires practice. Control requires patience. And control requires the willingness to challenge yourself every single day. If you feel overwhelmed, take a step back. Breathe. Don't react in the moment. Give yourself time to think before making decisions. If you feel discouraged, remind yourself why you started. Look at how far you've come instead of how far you have to go. If you feel angry, ask yourself if reacting will help or hurt you. If you feel afraid, remind yourself that fear is only temporary, but regret lasts forever. Self-mastery is the foundation of success. The people who achieve the most in life are not the ones who never feel fear, stress, or doubt. They are the ones who refuse to let those feelings stop them. They understand that emotions are temporary, but decisions shape the future. Start today. Become aware of your emotions, but don't let them control you. Speak to yourself with strength, not weakness. Train your mind to work for you, not against you. And most importantly, develop the discipline to stay in control, no matter what life throws at you. Number 8. Sacrifice comfort to achieve real success. Success is not for those who seek comfort. It is for those who are willing to sacrifice it. If you want to grow, if you want to become more than you are today, you must be willing to give up the things that keep you in the same place. Comfort feels good. Comfort is easy. But comfort does not change your life. Comfort keeps you exactly where you are. Look around at your life right now. Everything you have, everything you don't have, everything you have achieved or failed to achieve, it all comes down to the choices you've made. And most choices are driven by one of two things: the desire for comfort or the desire for progress. If you want to wake up every day feeling proud of what you've built, you need to stop prioritizing comfort. You need to push yourself beyond what is easy. If you are not growing, you are staying the same. And if you are staying the same, you are falling behind. Think about the people you admire, the ones who built something great, the ones who made a difference, the ones who achieved more than they ever imagined. Do you think they lived in comfort? Do you think they took the easy path? Or do you think they faced challenge after challenge and kept going? Sacrificing comfort means doing what is necessary, not what is convenient. It means waking up early to work on your goals instead of sleeping in. It means staying disciplined even when no one is watching. It means doing the hard things now so your future can be easier. Most people never achieve their potential because they refuse to be uncomfortable. They want to grow, but they don't want to struggle. They want success, but they don't want to sacrifice. They want to be better, but they don't want to change their habits. They wait for the right time. They wait for motivation. They wait until they feel ready, and in that waiting, they lose years of their life. The truth is, you will never feel ready. You will never feel like sacrificing comfort. You will never wake up and say, I want to struggle today. That's not how the mind works. Your mind will always try to protect you. It will always try to keep you safe. It will always try to keep you in comfort. That is why most people stay exactly where they are. But success is reserved for those who push through, for those who see comfort for what it really is. A trap that stops you from reaching your true potential. If you want to be great at anything, you have to endure discomfort. If you want to be in the best shape of your life, you have to push through the workouts that make you want to quit. If you want to build a successful business, you have to face rejection, failure, and uncertainty. If you want to master a skill, you have to practice when you don't feel like it. If you want to be mentally strong, you have to control your emotions instead of reacting to them. Sacrificing comfort is not easy, but it is necessary. It is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful, the disciplined from the undisciplined, the fulfilled from the unfulfilled. If you are serious about changing your life, stop choosing comfort. Stop making excuses. Stop waiting for things to get easier. Start now. Start today. Make the choice to be uncomfortable, and your future self will thank you for it. Number 9. Keep promises to yourself, no matter what. Keeping promises to yourself is one of the most powerful habits you can form. It defines who you are and determines the quality of your life. Think about it. The person who doesn't keep promises to themselves is the one who breaks down in moments of difficulty. The one who always finds a reason not to follow through. The one who wonders why life never seems to work out. But the person who consistently keeps promises to themselves is strong, reliable, and trustworthy, first and foremost to themselves. And that's where real success starts. When you make a promise to someone else, you take it seriously. If you tell someone you will be somewhere at a certain time, you make every effort to be there. You don't break that promise because it's important to you to maintain trust and honor your word. So why do we let ourselves off the hook so easily? Why do we think it's okay to break promises to ourselves? Every time you fail to keep a promise to yourself, you erode your own trust. You tell yourself, it doesn't matter, I'll do it tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes. The more promises you break, the more you teach yourself that it's okay to be unreliable when it comes to your own goals and values. And eventually, you begin to believe that you don't deserve to keep promises to yourself. You stop even trying. Here's the reality. When you keep your promises, your confidence grows. You trust yourself more. You build momentum. The more you keep promises to yourself, the more capable you feel, and the more you believe that you can achieve whatever you set your mind to. But every time you break a promise, you weaken your sense of self, and that affects everything in your life. If you tell yourself you will wake up early tomorrow and work on your goals, but then hit snooze and sleep in, what message are you sending yourself? If you promise yourself you will exercise today but you don't, what are you teaching yourself about your worth? If you say you will read every day but never open the book, what does that do to your self-esteem? You are sending yourself the message that you are not worth keeping your promises to, and that is a dangerous path to walk. If you want to be successful, you must stop allowing yourself to break promises. The moment you commit to something, follow through, even if it's hard, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're tired, even when things don't go according to plan. Consistency is the key here. Success isn't about making one huge change or achieving something extraordinary in one day. It's about what you do every single day. The small promises you make to yourself and how you follow through on them. It's the commitment to making one better choice after another. It's the power of building a habit of trust in yourself. Keeping promises to yourself is not just about willpower. It's about discipline. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done. No matter how you feel, you won't always feel motivated. You won't always feel energized or excited to keep the promises you've made. But that's what separates successful people from those who never reach their full potential. They push through the discomfort. They keep their word. Think about the things you've promised yourself. Maybe you've promised to start working on a side project. Maybe you've promised to get healthier. Maybe you've promised to read more, learn more, or start saving money. The longer you put these promises off, the more frustrated you will become. Because every time you break a promise, It adds to a growing feeling of disappointment in yourself. On the other hand, when you keep your promises, you build momentum. Every time you honor your word, you feel more confident. You feel proud. You feel empowered. And that's when real progress happens. It's time to get serious about the promises you make to yourself. If you say you will wake up early tomorrow, do it. If you say you will work out today, do it. If you say you will take action on that big idea you have, take the first step. The key is to be specific. When you make a promise to yourself, make sure it's something you can measure and follow through on. Don't make vague promises like, "I'll get better at this." Instead, promise yourself something specific, like, "I will write 500 words every day this week," or "I will spend 30 minutes learning a new skill every morning." These are promises you can track, and don't give yourself any excuses. If you promise to do something, do it. No matter what. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up for yourself, day after day. If you slip up, don't quit. Get back on track, and keep going. Every time you keep a promise, you reinforce your commitment to your future. If you want to change your life, it starts with changing how you treat yourself. Keep the promises you make. Build trust with yourself. Stop letting yourself down. This is how you build a life of discipline, purpose, and success. You are your most important commitment. The way you show up for yourself is the way you will show up for everything else in your life. So start today. Make a promise, and then keep it. No matter what, your future depends on it. Number 1, act. Now, instead of waiting for the perfect moment, you will never find the perfect moment to start. It's just a simple fact of life. Many people sit around waiting for everything to fall into place, waiting for the stars to align, waiting for the perfect opportunity to present itself. But here's the truth. Waiting for the perfect moment is the best way to guarantee that you never get started at all. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The most successful people in the world didn't wait for everything to be perfect before they took action. They didn't wait for the conditions to be just right. They started right where they were, with what they had, and they figured the rest out along the way. This is a key factor that separates those who succeed from those who never move forward. It's not about waiting until everything is perfect. It's about making progress despite the imperfections. Think about it for a moment. What is it that you're waiting for? Is it the perfect time, the perfect situation, the perfect plan? Maybe it's that next year is going to be the time when you finally do it. Maybe it's when the weather is better, or when you have more money, or when you've gained a little more experience. But let me ask you this. How many years have gone by with that same excuse? How many more years will you continue to let slip by while you wait for everything to fall into place? The truth is, if you keep waiting, you will always be waiting. Every moment you delay is another moment you waste. Time is not on your side. Every day that passes is a day you can never get back. So why are you waiting? Why are you sitting on the sidelines when you could be taking action and moving forward right now? You don't need to have everything figured out before you take the first step. No one ever does. People who make things happen aren't waiting for all the stars to line up. They act. They take small steps, consistent steps, and trust that they'll figure out the rest as they go. If you wait until you have the perfect plan or the perfect conditions, you'll never move forward. The key is to start right now. Let's get real for a moment. What would happen if you took action today? If you stopped waiting for tomorrow, for next week, for next year, and you just did anything today? The truth is, action creates momentum. The more you act, the more progress you make. The more you step into that discomfort, the more you grow. And as you take action, you'll start to build momentum that will carry you forward. The first step is always the hardest. But once you've taken that first step, everything after it becomes a little easier. So what is it that you've been putting off? What's that dream or goal that you've been waiting to start? Is it your health, your career, your personal development? Is it a new business venture or a passion project that you've always dreamed of? You can keep waiting for the perfect moment, or you can start now. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should throw caution to the wind and make reckless decisions. There's a difference between taking action and being careless. But the key is to act with what you have right now. Don't let perfectionism hold you back. Don't let the fear of making mistakes stop you from taking that first step. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to start. If you wait for the perfect moment, you'll be waiting forever. Because the truth is, no moment will ever feel perfect. There will always be something holding you back. There will always be doubts, distractions, or obstacles in your way. The secret to success is not waiting for the perfect moment. It's taking action despite the imperfections. It's being willing to move forward, even when you're not sure how things will turn out. Action will lead to progress. Progress leads to growth. And growth leads to success. It's as simple as that. Every small action you take today is an investment in your future. Every step you take brings you closer to where you want to be. Every moment you wait is a moment you can never get back. You see, success doesn't happen in one big leap. It happens in small, consistent actions. It happens when you choose to act, even when you're not sure how things will turn out. It happens when you take that first step, even if it's a small one. It happens when you commit to doing something every day, no matter how small, to move closer to your goals. There will always be challenges. There will always be setbacks. But that doesn't mean you should wait for everything to be perfect. You don't need to wait for the perfect plan, the perfect time, or the perfect conditions. You just need to start, even if it's messy, even if you don't know exactly what you're doing. Just start, because every step you take is progress. Now I want you to ask yourself, what would your life look like if you stopped waiting for the perfect moment and started taking action today? What if you started working on that goal, that dream, that project right now? What if you took that first step, even if it felt uncomfortable or uncertain? How would your life change if you started today, instead of waiting for tomorrow? The good news is, it's never too late to start. You don't need to have everything figured out, but you do need to start. Every day is a new opportunity to take action, to make progress, to move closer to your goals. The perfect moment is now. The best time to start
is today.
Remember, success is not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about taking action, even when the moment doesn't feel perfect. It's about doing what you can with what you have right now. If you keep waiting for everything to line up, you'll be waiting forever. But if you start today, you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. So stop waiting. Stop putting it off. Take that first step. Move forward. Make progress. And watch how your life changes. The perfect moment is now. It's time to act.